I once met a man with no shoes, and then I met a man with no
No
feet.
feet, yeah. You still have an ass.
Well, I have one in the front, too, so that's the problem.
Oh. Mom!
Are you a lady like me? Introspective, beautiful. Oh, are you intellectual like me? Beguiled by a bargain? You like wild times? Oh, like me? Are you serving the community like me? Well, if you are, then you must be very Delta. Today's guest is large and in charge, chunky yet funky. It is the legendary Latrice Royale. Hi.
Sister!
I'm so glad you're here.
Are you kidding me?
And I know you've been busy. Like, you came to Southern California like you always do.
Yeah.
With your mind on work.
Yeah.
But you make time for things when you can, and you made so much time for this. I appreciate it.
I did. And before we even get any further, can I give you your flowers? I mean, you have a big ass bouquet right here. But these are my, like, you know, universal. I want to say congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Sister, like, watching you do what you do, because, like, okay, let's just be real. Like, my favorite thing during the pandemic was your rants. Like, you would just go off. It could be about ketchup, girl, like, and how many ketchups you get or don't get or whatever.
A mess.
Like, yeah, all the things. But, like, when this came about, and I was like, she is in her element. And now you have a captive audience around the world. You're touring, you're doing the damn thing, and you're doing what you love. And I am just so happy and proud of you. So congratulations. And you're snatching trophies, still snatching trophies.
I mean, I think we're all trying.
I
right?
mean, no. We're not saying trying anymore. We're doing.
I like that. Thank
We're
you.
doing. And you're doing. So
well, I feel like since we met, you've always, quote unquote, held the space for me, just because some people say, oh, you know, people in a certain generation, they click together. But also, you're an Aquarius.
Yes. And
even though people do say January Aquarius and February Aquarius are entirely different, but there's a group of us, myself, you, Mayhem, Mariah, there's sort of a like-minded way of seeing things and going, all right, well, she sees it that way. That's fine.
Yeah.
Let her have her way. I'm not going to argue with her.
No, please not. Nah.
And you've always done that for me.
Yeah, of course. Like, this is what it is.
I'm excited.
Yes, let's dish, girl. What you want to talk about?
Well, first, you came to town because you come on tour. You do lots of dates.
Yeah.
And a lot of people out there don't realize that when they see people come to town, they think that somebody else is doing all that work. Latrice does all of this work because you maintain such good working relationships and friendships with people that everybody wants you in their club. I mean, that's just 1,000% true. That's not kissing anybody's ass. It's the truth.
Thank you.
And I will say, just because I know the girls, we talked to Jules, we talked to all the different girls that book shows, we will say like, oh, it's a new girl coming to town or whatever. And then maybe them seats not be full. You know what I mean? But when you're when you drop a name like Latrice, there's never, everyone knows, oh, it's going to be full.
Oh.
Whether it's a theater or a tiny club.
Yeah.
And you know that.
Yeah.
People love you.
It's amazing. I'm blessed. And like, this trip has been so amazing from a work standpoint, from a reconnecting with my sister's standpoint, from a Kiki standpoint, from a restoring and rejuvenating me standpoint. I had to take this trip. I was longing for just doing drag, because I've been doing producing and choreography and and all those things. And it's just stressful. And it looks great. It's art, but baby, it's draining. And so like, I needed to get back to something that fulfilled and rejuvenated me. And being here with my sisters absolutely does that. It inspires me to see you all working and doing your thing in your fields and outside of a club. You know what I mean? That's what we all aspire to do. Like, we can't be pump stumping it out, you know.
Right.
We're in our 50s. Well, at least I am.
I always love when you come to town, because I know, as somebody who loves to have people, I love to call an Uber. I want to be in, I want to be out, but I don't normally rent a car. You have to have a car.
Girl, yes, 100%. I can't be waiting, depending on, can you take me for a ride? Can you come? Can I ride? Girl, no, ma'am. No, ma'am, I'm way too grown for that. Like if the spirit hits me and I want to go hit it and go somewhere, I want to hit it and go somewhere.
Right.
I don't want to have any restrictions. And then like down here, like if you want to work, you need to have a car.
Yeah, you do.
You need to have a car because like you can go from San Diego to Palm Springs to West Hollywood to Long Beach. Like you can like you go, and that's what I've been doing. And so like who wants to have to coordinate a ride every single time you got to get on the road, go somewhere? You know.
When I want, I will say when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah. And it's always awkward when you're waiting on someone else.
I'm not waiting on nobody.
I can't do it.
No.
Mm-mm. Or when somebody says, we will get you a ride. Don't worry about it. And then this little, I don't know what car shows up.
Okay.
I appreciate it, but
I'm gonna tell you why this was the straw, girl. This was the straw. That happened. So we got your ride. It was somebody's mother.
Oh no.
And this little old lady, when I tell you little old lady, got behind this wheel and we were lost in the darkness with no reception.
No.
Where the are we? Girl, she had no idea because everybody's signal kept going out. And so her GPS was like taking us in loops. You know how that does that sometimes? Yes. So we are just like, where are we? And we're in the middle of nowhere, girl. It's just sticks. And so finally we might make our way to our hotel. And I was like, that is the last time.
Never again.
That is the last time.
I can't do that.
No, ma'am. I'm not waiting.
I can't do that. And so I know you always like to have an SUV.
I do.
You want a large car. You want your stuff safe. Is your stuff always safe?
No, girl. Okay, so this trip, girl, Mrs. Thing.
I know it's not funny. I know it's not funny.
So I keep all my drag in the car because I'm not lugging all this.
Right.
I have a big ass duffel bag, like I can fit a person in there, like full of costumes, and then I operate out of there and I just take what I need, for the shows. So one night I had parked behind someone that was parked in the driveway. So I was closest to the street in the driveway. And then I hear, sister.
Oh no.
I said, oh, what? She goes, my neighbor said that somebody busted out the back of your window and your suitcases are gone. Poof, gone.
I wonder if we went to like out of the closet or
I bet you if you go over, yes, baby. When you see somebody walking around with sequin dresses and they're homeless, but they shining,
right?
You know what happened. So
you know where they went.
They black.
Microphones, earrings.
Shoes.
So shoes, some kind of a clipboard that says the lineup on it.
You know what's up.
Wow.
So it was annoying, but I filed a little report. Avis has been wonderful. Mind you, I had 3 cars since I've been here.
Oh, okay.
Because the first car got a nail in the tire.
Oh.
So I had to go trade that in. And then the second one got the window bashed out. So I had to fill out a police report, go trade that one in.
So now you're with this one.
And now I'm with this one. So, and I'm going home tonight. So it's all good.
But you have a better eye or a trained eye for this because you traveled so much with the show, with the HBO show, which was so huge and changed so many people's lives. But I'm sure you had to fly by the seat of your pants in many situations.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Meeting different kinds of people, different locations. Is there anything that you can remember being like, wow, that was an experience I never thought I would have?
Well, when we walked through this memorial park where they had burned down in Oklahoma and just listening and going through the history of all of that, I was just like, this is the part that nobody wants to talk about. This is the part that they're trying to erase. You know what I mean? It's like when you're trying to make America great again, this was that time. And so no, baby, it wasn't great for everybody. So it's it was jarring. And then, just going back in time really, because I haven't been called a in so long. Like, girl. Like, and then, you put the N-word with that, it's just like, well, it's not what you call, it's what you answer to. That's it's very that. And so I could like know that's their ignorance. But it was jarring and it was not cute. It was a lot of work, but also healing in a way. Sure. I felt like, our work was purposeful and I was happy about that. I'm proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the like most proud work I've done, like as far
Oh,
on
I
a
would think so.
on a serious note. You know what I mean? We do drag and we make people laugh and we make them feel things, but for the humanity of it all, that is my most proud work.
Your experience working on that show, then of course doing a lip sync show, but you also do live singing, and you've also played Audrey too, which
Oh my
is
God.
major to so many people. I mean, it's huge.
Oh my God, what a dream.
What is that?
Now that was career life-changing situation there.
Yeah.
Audrey too, I was been a fan of the show, the movie, you know, and to get that call to go do that was definitely like, yes, please. But I wanted to do it the way Latrice Royale would do it. Like it has
Right.
to be out of this world. And then it pushed me, you know, vocally too as an artist. Like I was having to sing in my upper range and I haven't upper register and I haven't done that since ever. And I never do it because I always try to stay in my comfort zone. But
Mhm.
it forced me to get out of my comfort zone and take care of my vocal health and do a whole nother um, uh, discipline. You know, I had to be disciplined with my intake of marijuana. Because, baby, you know I smoke a blunt, honey. I have to be on
Yeah.
a level. But no, you have to take care of your voice, so you can't be doing all that carrying on and screaming and hollering. And
Is there another role, whether it's on Broadway, a movie, a recreation of a TV show, or your own show, that you'd like to play?
I was told could do the genie in Aladdin, Ursula,
Oh my
obviously.
God.
Like, I mean, come
Yeah.
on. Like, so, like, there are several
Mhm.
things and roles that I would love to do because I would just want to take it to the nth degree, like
Right.
100%.
Would you play the Julia Roberts role in a remake of Pretty Woman?
I could.
Why couldn't you?
I could. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I
Yeah.
could. I could. I could. I could be a whore.
Well, have you been in the past?
I've not been a whore before. I mean, I never got paid in
So
public.
just slutty. Just slutty.
Just slutty.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Who would play you in your life story?
Probably Alex Newell.
Okay.
Yeah,
Love.
I can see that.
Love.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
What if you had to pick somebody from a previous season of Drag Race?
Oh.
That's tough.
Ah. Oh, wow. Who would play me?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. I don't know. There's no.
Not Mimi, I'm first. It wouldn't be Mimi.
You're trying it.
What?
You tried
She's an
it.
actress.
No, baby, ain't that much
No.
acting in the world. honey.
Well, okay, let's see. Similar in look. Maybe
Jade Dior Fierce or she's too short.
I always think J. Jolie, similar in look. No. Let's take a break. We are back with Gia Gunn.
Oh. Cut!
We are back with Latrice Royale. Now, you know, we say this show is just for frying the small fish because we're not making any big changes. There's bigger fish to fry in the world. So we just argue about little That's not going to make any difference. Convenience.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there anything that's been on your mind, and it can be minor, a small fish that needs to be fried, something that has just been happening to you besides people breaking into your car?
Can I talk about y'all people driving here?
Okay, please do.
It's just an observation. I haven't been here, you know, I'm from Florida. We can't drive either. I wish everybody drove like me, and then we would have
Right.
such a wonderful time. However, y'all love to ride y'all brakes. Just, what are we braking for? What are we stopping for? All this slow down and speed up and slow down and speed, for what?
Right.
For what? Nobody's merging. We're already past the 101 and the 405 to the 10. Wait, bitch, we did all this. So what is we doing? You get a little bit close to a car, all of a sudden you brake. Bitch,
You're not lying.
I learned to drive here. So like I got my license here in California, let it be known. And so I've always been a great driver.
Uh-huh.
Always. But like it seems like since the last time that I've been here,
It's worse.
it's gotten worse.
She's not lying. She's not lying. And I would never counter what she has to say, not just because I would think she's wrong, because she's not. She's an Aquarius. Why would she be wrong? Hello. But because you're telling the truth. It really is crazy. It is bad. It is bad.
I think it's because people are moving here from other places at a rapid speed.
Some people say that.
And they can't drive.
Yeah.
I don't know what little town you came from, little Miss Mama, but you need to move. You are in the wrong lane going 52 miles an hour. 52.
Now, how much will you go over the speed limit?
15.
15. Okay. That seems fair, especially on a highway.
Yeah. Like
I
if the
think so.
speed limit is 55, I'm going to go 70.
Yeah. Even I say push it to 75.
And I get a little bit nervous because my main thing is I go with the flow of traffic. So I don't stick out as like weaving through and like that.
Right.
But like if it's like 65, we going 80. You know what I mean? For sure.
I agree.
Like
I agree.
What are we doing?
Right.
This is just stupid. I'm trying to get where I'm going. Y'all obviously don't have nowhere to go because you're taking your time, 52 miles an hour, and you're in the fast lane.
Well, they're going slow because they're looking to see what cars to break into. They want to know really who's got what in their car.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm jealous of you for a million reasons. Envious for many, but jealous for a couple. And one is you were the very first, maybe the only drag queen to be on QVC in drag.
Yeah.
Tell you, I wish I would love
you
to
are that QVC girl. You are.
But you did it. You do many things before other people. And you did that.
I did that.
Tell me about it.
Oh my God. Some of my nuts. Some of y'all remember the nuts, Ruby Royale. That was the most wildest, like wildfire. I've never seen a campaign blow up the way that did. But like we partnered with Squirrel Brand. They had this Ruby Royale mix they were coming out with. And they wanted to like diversify because we know Squirrel Brand they're the oldest nut brand.
Right.
And so like it was for grandma and grandpapa and peepaw. They know about Squirrel Brand. But they wanted to like show a different demographic. So they got me, and believe it or not, it was the president of Squirrel Brand who suggested they're like, if you can get Latrice Royale to do this campaign, it's perfect. And then they and it was for Valentine's Day. And when I tell you, these nuts went nuts. And they told me I might get a chance to go on QVC, but it wasn't confirmed. 3 days before, they said it's confirmed and you have to do this course to get certified. And it's usually a week course, but they're pushing you through so you can do it in 2 days.
Wait, like what kind of course? Like a speaking course or something?
Girl.
Like school for QVC?
Like you have to go to college.
Stop it.
When I tell you, there are certain things you have to be trained in what to say and what you cannot say, because if you say certain things, those are considered claims and for legal. Okay. And then like you can't like, there were so many things, you know what I mean? And so you have to do this course, get certified, because what you're dealing with is really like middle America. So you just got Pawpaw who just got this here little fertilizer that he wants to sell on the QVC, and I don't know how to talk good, you know. I don't know nothing about this TV stuff, you know. And then you have people like me who has been in the business. I'm like, okay, this is kind of, so they pushed me right on through. So now I'm certified. So if you got something to sell, I can go and sell it.
I would love it. Well, I remember when this was happening, it was probably the first time ever, and this was during the pandemic, that I ever got a message from somebody else who was on Drag Race who was like, hey, I need your mailing address and your whatever name you want me to send it to, because you sent me the package. And I remember thinking like, I always hear about people getting packages, and like, no, I see all the girls getting stuff, and I'm like, man, I don't get nothing. And you had sent that.
Mama.
That was the first time I had ever received.
Are you serious?
Hand to God. And I remember thinking like, wow, like all these people that I know and people that I see all the time, I'm like, damn, you remembered everybody. You didn't ask me. And then I thought, this is the coolest thing ever. And I thought, what song do you add to this post? How do you make it? Do I add an emoji? Like, I want people to know, like, I was remembered in this. Like, and it's just a good feeling when you get that, because you're like, geez, this is really cool to watch someone else. Like, I was telling Trixie when she was here, like, even if you're not the person who's selling it, even if it's not your thing, when you see a contemporary doing something, it really is a voice for everyone. It really is saying, look at what we do. That person's the ambassador for what we do, you know?
Yeah.
And it's exciting to see that, because while it is for them and you're happy for them, part of you says, we're going with you. You're bringing us with you.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Really, really feels that way. I shouldn't say that, but it really, really feels that way.
Yeah.
But okay, so if you could sell something else, would you sell a type of biscuit? What's a good biscuit?
See, I love flaky. It has to be buttery and fluffy, and my daughter makes good biscuits. And so now what's going to happen is that we're in the works. We're doing this cookbook.
Oh, absolutely.
And baby, it's like me and her in the kitchen together is dangerous.
I like
it's
that.
dangerous. And so we're going to put it to use because, why not? I have many things that's going on. I'm going into the cannabis business as well. I'm going to be launching a
I like that.
new line of edibles and pre-rolls and flour and things like that. So like,
well, I've talked about this before. I haven't smoked weed since I was in college. And everyone's like, oh, I wonder what you would be like if you did that. And I feel like if I had the blessing of somebody who would say like, okay, I want you to try this that was curated by me, because I know. So what would it be would I do an edible? Would I do a bong? I remember I used to know how to make a bong out of an apple.
That's not true though. So you don't have.
Should I not do any of it?
I mean, I'm not telling you not to, but you're not known for being that girl. You know what I mean? Everyone has a story, a first-time story of smoking with me. Like whether I sent them to the hospital or...
Right.
Oh my God.
But is there a type you think I should try?
I think that you should start off, like if you do gummies, because if you're not a smoker, a gummy would be very good for you. I think start off with a little 5 milligram, and do a little hybrid situation. I'm an indica girl. So like I would do a hybrid for you. That way you can like have your head and wits about you, but also be relaxed and calm.
The first and only time I ever went to a weed store was with Jade, Victoria Pork Chop Parker.
Wow.
And like 3 other girls. I can't remember who was all there, but we were in Colorado Springs doing a gig, but we had to go to the Denver airport. So in between the two, you know how that is.
Yeah.
I don't know what, I thought I was going to go into like a head shop the way that like when I was a kid, my dad would go to a head shop and it looked like the inside of a Cheech and Chong van, right? It's like, oh, that's what it's going to be. I was like, this is an Apple store.
It is.
This is like a Genius bar.
Like, what is really going on?
Almost like looking at artifacts, like everything was under glass.
And very displayed in here. Yeah.
I was like, what? This doesn't even have any personality in here. I wanted it to be fun.
Well, they have those too. They have those around. They're a little more grungier and like oh, this is definitely a weed spot. Like
but Colorado, I was like, this is
it's clean and pristine.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was in the middle of like nowhere. It was so pretty. If you, as somebody who spent time in Compton, you did spend time in Compton. Which rapper would you collab with? Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, Kendrick Lamar, or DJ Quick?
Well, we knew Eazy-E. He rode around. He was with my brothers and things. So, but that was too violent for me. So I mean, right now, it'd be Kendrick is the one. He's the one. Like that's the truth. He's the truth. Yeah. I'm digging him.
I like that.
And I'm not even like a rap person like that. I'm a frustrated rapper. I
Why is that?
Because I cannot.
Well, I can rap in my car.
See,
I tell people that all the time. I'm like, I'm a really good DJ, but I've never DJ'd. I just make Spotify playlists.
But that's
my
like,
DJ.
I mean, girl, like, have you seen the DJs these days?
Right. Or you know what I'll do? Speaking of someone who doesn't know their register, I will be singing to like Reba McEntire or something in the car, and then I will put the phone on record and then turn the song off but keep singing, and I'll go, do I sound like her? Like, how do I?
No, you don't.
That's how I try to check if I can sing or not.
No.
I can't sing.
Girl, you don't need to record to know that. I can tell you.
Damn.
You don't sound like her.
I don't?
No. Give me a taste. Come on, Delta.
I can't. You give me a taste. You give me
I
a
have
taste.
no voice left.
What do you mean you have no voice
Girl,
left?
like.
Were you singing all weekend?
No, I was just in these bars.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, cussing.
Yeah.
But in these bars, like
Yeah.
Mrs. Thingbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's always past my bedtime.
You know, you just said right now, you said, you motion that you cussed.
Yeah.
Which I know you don't normally, but sometimes it'll happen. And I have the worst mouth. And earlier I said something and I like excused myself because whenever I'm in your presence, I feel like I should not be doing that.
Oh my God.
I really do.
Baby.
I just have, I know that. I know differently about you. But I feel like the way certain people treat you, and like you have just always treated me like greatness. You've always but it's just a thing where I think to myself, like, you know, when I don't want to say elders because we're not that far apart in age, but it's just a thing where there's certain people that you defer to. And I think so many people have such a respect for you in everything that you do. Like, it really is a place where you're like, don't do that. Like, show a little more respect to someone.
Well, I don't know if you even know, but I like literally talked about you around the world because when I do my show, there's a whole segment of how I was inspired and motivated to audition for Drag Race. And I always talk about season 3, and I always bring up I was rooting for my big girls. There's Delta work, and the crowd goes crazy.
Aww.
And I said, and there was Stacey Lane Ryan Matthews, and they're like, woo. I was like, Stacey.
Oh, stop.
I do. I go through the whole thing about how Delta held her own. Delta knew how the big girls go. She put all things where they're supposed to be. She was confident. She held it. And then
she fell apart.
And I said, no. And then there was Stacey. And her baby, she crying about being fat, girl. Like, she didn't know she was fat before she got there. Like, I don't know what was her problem, but she did not have the confidence that you did. And so, like, I was mad because of the Cupcake Couture challenge.
Mm-hmm.
That was when she went home.
Right.
I went and wrote Water One that day.
Really?
Because of that. Because I was so mad at Stacey.
Wow.
And I said, I'm tired of these fat girls crying about being fat on your show. Yeah. I can show you better. I can tell you. I sent my picture, my phone numbers. And they called me 2 days later. Wow. But I tell that story and I always talk about how you were
that's
part of the
sweet.
inspiration of why I auditioned.
It's so amazing to see that because there is a progression in many ways where each season there is a standout this, standout that, and your presence on the show was just it wasn't just a person who was there as a contestant. It was a person who was there also as what they say is a cast member, but it was more than that. It was actual reality. It was somebody who was saying, these are the places I've been. These are the things that I've done. I'm not going to be ashamed of them. I'm going to move on. And everyone has something that they're ashamed of or are supposed to be bothered by.
Yeah.
And I think you made a really good statement when you said, like, it's what I answer to. Mm-hmm. And that's something that lives from Drag Race history forever. And again, leaving there without winning it, but still winning because baby, who doesn't know who Latrice Royale is?
I mean,
that's just it. It really is.
I mean, yeah.
And there's other people that are known.
Yeah.
But for what?
That's the part. That's
for
the
what?
part. Yeah. I mean, I am very, very blessed and I just wanted to always be me and I'm always going to be me. Like, I don't know how to do the fake stuff. I don't know how to be anybody else and I don't want to be anybody else. Like, I think I'm very happy.
Let's take a break. Do you have something on your mind? Perhaps a burning question, or maybe you just need me to go off about something. Well, now's your chance. Email me at readmedelta@gmail.com and you just might hear your question on an upcoming episode of Very Delta. Don't be shy, baby. Send me an email. We are back with Latrice Royale. Now, this is a part of the show that we call Read Me Delta. People send in their questions, their comments. We try to limit the comments.
Okay.
But they send their questions. And if you want one of your letters read, send it to readmedelta@gmail.com. Dear Delta and fascinating guest, have you experienced being helped by an AI entity in the drive-thru yet? We recently went to Taco Bell drive-thru and we were happy to get a meal to eat in the parking lot together. Our excitement was cut too short because as soon as we dictated our first selection, we were interrupted by a female AI voice that asked if we wanted anything else. We were so thrown off, in fact, that we veered from our usual items to try something new that caught our eyes, only to later realize as we panic ordered, out of fear and inability to interact with another actual human. What are your thoughts? Surely AI in the drive-thru is not very Delta. Very Adrian and Cody. Have you experienced that?
I actually just experienced that.
Where were you?
Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm. Was it a good experience? Bad experience?
It was just cold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. I need human interaction. Like, I want to talk to a person. I want them to be able to take my money, and because they're ultimately going to have to do that anyway.
Right.
So, like, why? What are we doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Robbing someone of a job.
Like, it's just,
Yeah. I think they think, obviously, we know they think it's going to like expedite things or make like less mistakes.
No.
But it sounds like this person experienced mistakes already.
I got no sauce. I asked
Right.
if there was sauce in the bag, and they said yes, and there was no sauce. Do you know I don't like dry
Right.
tacos? I want my hot sauce with my tacos and my Mexican pizza. Because I get a number 9.
And that's Mexican pizza and tacos?
What Dorito Locos Taco Supremes.
Uh-huh. I like ground beef.
Well.
And don't have people always say, the ground beef at Taco Bell, you don't know what's in it. I don't really care. I don't care. You don't eat Taco Bell because you're like,
Baby,
love the nutritional content.
Nutrition part.
No.
Did you go for that? Well, you used to, but not no more, bitch. Like, when you used to can spend like $10 at Taco Bell and have a sack of groceries.
Yes, you did.
Baby.
You did.
Now, you can't even get a combo for that.
I experienced the AI thing one time in a drive-thru, and it was at a Wiener Schnitzel. I didn't have a bad experience, but I don't know. I like interacting with someone.
It's just cold.
It's fine. And I feel like it's easier to resolve whatever the issue is if you're like, oh, hey, can I get some more napkins or a couple more this? But I don't know.
It's too much. Like AI, I'm here for advancing and here for it for certain things. But like, I watch a lot of movies where like it trains itself to get smarter than us.
Right.
So I feel like that's very possible. And if that happens, then what? Then what? Then what?
Okay. Hello, Miss Delta and gorgeous guest.
Oh, I'm gorgeous.
I want to talk about booth seating. I'm a plus size girl. I do not like booths.
Please do not.
If I make a reservation at a restaurant and ask for a table, I'm not going to make myself small when they offer me a booth. I'm not going to say, oh, maybe you didn't get the memo, but I requested a table. I do not care if you're crowded. I made a reservation 6 hours ago and I asked for a table. I have a lot of junk in the trunk and I'm tall. I'm a stallion, if you will. I do not fit well in booths. I'm not coming to dinner with my guests and making a laughingstock out of myself by trying to contort into a space that's not made for me. No, ma'am. No, I'm not going to wait another 20 minutes for a table to open up. I'm going to leave a harrowing review of your restaurant on Google. Even if I'm extra petty, I will email health inspectors and tell them that I seen a rat while I was in there to dine. In case you weren't aware, that rat is you for not being amicable to my reservation.
Oh, my God.
Well, that's me going off. What are your thoughts? Love so much, Rick.
Rick,
Rick
baby.
at the table.
Rick, I am here for you, with you, baby. I do not need to be in no booth. Baby, we need to be squoze up in here looking like this, like just like sack lunches, bitch. No, I can't. Just table pressed up against your stomach. You trying to like breathe down so your stomach can fit below the... No.
Yes.
Girl, no. Get us a table. We biggins.
Right.
And so we're going to need some space. We're going to need at least some elbow room.
Well, and everybody is sort of big. People are all built differently, right?
Yes.
So some people are very bottom heavy.
Right.
Or some people are very barrel chested.
Yes.
And, I like to tell people, I shop at the big and tall because I'm big. I'm not tall. You know what I mean? But you could go into a store and you're like, well, I'm also here because I'm tall.
But
you are tall.
I'm big and tall, bitch, and bloated.
It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable being not bloated. It is uncomfortable being in those situations. I've been places where I thought, oh, this is not going to be good for me. I need to vet before I go. Where are we sitting? Who is going to, a question many of us will ask is like, first of all, who's all there?
Who all coming?
Who is going? Because that changes the trajectory of everything.
Because I may not be there.
Right.
You ain't got to worry about it.
You know what I'll do? When it's a birthday, I'll send a gift.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't need to come.
No, I'm not. I'm going to send my regards.
But yeah, I don't, and I've been places. This is my trained eye. I was at Chili's not long ago. We were sitting at the table, and I looked over and I said, "That booth over there, it's bigger than the rest of the booth. So next time we come here, let's ask to sit in that booth, and I can see how comfortable I am. That way, if we have to sit in a booth, we know that there are some. I want to vet that in my mind. That's crazy, but." I mean, when you've always lived in a larger than average body, these are things that have just always gone through your mind.
100%.
What about, do you ever go somewhere and watch me draw the chair for you? Here's the back, here's the seat, there's the legs, and then there's the other legs, but there's no legs in the back. Have you ever had to sit on a chair like that? Because I've been places like that. And let me tell you, I didn't realize I had any stomach muscles until I was leaning on the corner like this. Oh, I'm fine. Thank you.
No, I mean, I have chairs like that. But they're sturdy for me because I have to have them sturdy. But you know what I do not like? Toilets that are just in the wall and they don't.
Oh, and there's nothing. I have to hover.
Baby!
I'm going to hover.
Whoo!
I'm going to hover.
I broke one on a cruise ship once.
Oh, you did not?
Baby.
You did?
Oh,
did it come off the wall or it just kind of cracked?
Off the wall, water
like
everywhere.
laying on the ground?
Baby.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, ma'am.
Was it salt water in there? Because it's just...
It was after. I didn't taste it, Delta.
It was after. Wait, and what do you do in that instance?
Leave and act like you weren't in there.
It wasn't your room.
No, it was
like a.
It was it was in the main ship.
Oh, girl, that's their problem, not yours.
Correct. It wasn't in my room.
I have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, no, I don't know who was in here. But,
I have nothing to do with that.
There's water all over the floor in the bathroom.
Stop.
Yeah, bitch. Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just about to get it going, and she said, "Come." I said, "Wow!"
I don't have to go. It went right back up. Everything went right back in. You said, "I'm fine. I'm actually fine. I don't have to. I just came in to wash my hands."
That's it.
Right. It's
baby.
Fine.
Whoo! Embarrassing. I'm glad I was the only one in there, and I just now told that story for the first time, girl. I wouldn't tell her. I would have went to the grave with that one, but since you brought it up,
Royal Caribbean, we have a message for you. Latrice Royale from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Prove it. Baby. Yeah, I did that.
Wow.
So I hate those toilets.
Yeah. Anything like that is...
I would just walk out. I'm just like, we're not going to do that today.
Maybe I have broken a toilet and I don't remember. I don't think so, but it's not far off. Only because I know to hover.
Yeah.
I think you just, because you were on a cruise, you were on vacation, you were feeling good. You thought, I'm relaxed. It's a big deal. It's a cruise ship. We're in the middle of the ocean. There should be no reason. And they did you like that.
Did me like
I
that.
think that's the maintenance that's the issue.
Baby, them screws came out the wall.
Yeah. Have you done tours on tour buses?
I have. But
and how do you go to the bathroom?
You don't use the bathroom on tour
You don't
buses.
go, certainly not number 2.
Nah.
Can you go number 1?
Yeah, you pee.
Okay.
You can pee. But we do not use the bathroom on the tour bus.
What's a safe place to stop?
Nasty ass. Well, that's the whole part. That's the part of the tour life is that finding a place to is always a thing. It's like, girl, everybody gets up first thing in the morning and they're like, girl, where we at? Where we at? Where we at? There's a Starbucks, there's a hotel down the street, blah, 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 and then you go try to like find a place to go blow up, you know?
Here's my trick. This is what I do because I have abdominal issues quite often. I realize that if you pull into any medical office, the waiting room's going to have a bathroom in it, and they don't really question anything.
No.
And so if I'm really like barely going to make it, I'll pull out my mom's handicap placard because she will be usually like with me running around errands, and I'm like, technically, if you're running errands for a handicapped person or somebody a disabled person, you can use that placard.
Whatever you want to say, Delta.
And I know the
Just
law.
You go ahead,
I'm a
girl.
law-abiding citizen. You don't believe. See what I told you about how she holds the space for me? She'll just know, like, I'm not going to argue with you. I'll let it go. I love you more than I hate you. So I'm just going to let it go. That's how she does for me. I wish more people did that for me.
Oh my God.
Held the space and the grace.
So yeah, you can use it because
And you go to the medical office, or you can pull into a hotel right up into the valley and go, oh, I'm just checking in. Hold on. And go use their bathroom and blow it up. Blow it up.
Since we're on the subject of blowing it up, like you go into this medical thing and the bathroom was near the lobby. Do you have explosive situations? Because you said you have abdominal issues.
Right.
Have you been like in a situation where it's just like a whole trumpet brass section coming out your ass?
Yes. Sometimes you're not aware that you think what's going to happen is really just warning shots. You'll go, oh my God. Oh, thank God it was a warning shot. Like it's just a musket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you realize more is coming.
Oh.
So you got to make it to that toilet. And I've made it in and somebody was in the only stall. And I will start pacing. And my mother told me before, just go into the women's restroom. Aren't you fighting for rights? Like, just go in there. Can't you just go in and say, I'm not looking. I'm just going right in here. I'm going to use this toilet and get out. Because there's going to be more stalls in a women's restroom.
It definitely is going to be more stalls.
And if you find that family restroom.
Oh, you're golden. Because it's deluxe then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got room.
Yeah.
You can spread your legs and all that.
I've never had, only one time did I have to go to the bathroom on an airplane, number 2.
Girl, don't do it.
Girl,
that's
you want to talk
horrible.
about, I'm not a basketball player, but you have to really, like you have to, because you're far away.
No, baby. It's like, I don't even know how.
It's almost like being in a glory hole.
Why are we in here? How am I in here? Like,
how is anybody in here?
Like, that is the most horrifying thing for a fat person on a plane. Eat that dinner that they give you, and then it goes, gurgle, and baby, you already know, you're trying to hold it, and then it's still bubbling. You're gonna have to go ahead and do it, baby.
You're gonna have to do it. My other trick is I take 2 Imodium before, like 2 hours before the flight, so I'm backed up. I won't have to go to the bathroom.
Oh no, ma'am.
It'll
how do you?
Some girls who bottom will take Imodium so that way nothing comes out. So when they clean, the chamber is like locked in. There's a space, and when I say space. The girl that told me showed me like this. I said, how much are you taking?
Bitch.
Because I thought like the space, like.
I don't trust that.
You don't do Imodium.
No. And then how do you undo it?
Your body will eventually say the time is off.
It sounds painful.
Why are we talking about this?
I don't know, girl. You started it.
But you asked me straight up, like, did you yourself? Like, are you able to always make it into the bathroom or sometimes you don't? And a clear answer to that is, yeah, that has happened. I have not made it once before. Well, more than once. One time, full on in a restaurant. You didn't know this?
What?
I was at a restaurant in Lakewood, California called Souplantation. And at the buffet. Don't start with me. Don't start with me. I know. So what I keep in my car, just in case for next time, I don't want there to be a next time, because this should only happen to people once in a lifetime, if ever. I keep a little box on wheels, and inside of it is a rolled up beach towel. I call my go bag, which is like a change of clothes, like some underwear and a pair of shorts and a shirt, a pair of shoes, because when this happened, it went into my shoes.
Oh.
So
what
I have
kind
a pair
of
of
soup
shoes.
Was this?
I don't even remember. It was probably just the soup of the day.
Girl, well, it let you have it, girl.
So, and I have to have wipes in there and a trash bag. You just never know. I like to be prepared. It's never happened again, but
Miss Thing.
If I'm not prepared, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. You know what I mean? Kylie Sonique Love told me, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So she said, I want you to get your go bag together because I don't want you to yourself, because then you might be calling me talking about, can you come over to the mall and pick me up?
I mean,
My fear is that it's going to happen in the driver's seat of the car.
my
Will I have to
God,
buy a new
okay,
seat?
like everything you're saying is true. Like, just stay ready, get ready, all that stuff. But like the fact that like you have to even think of that ever
I
again happening,
know.
that means you're still traumatized, and we
Yeah.
need to like work through your trauma.
I think you're right. I really
I
think.
think you have to start taking one item out of your to-go bag.
Now, what happens if?
Like, take the shoes away, and then because like you're prepared for something that you're looking for the universe to provide you, which is an
Oh, that
opportunity.
makes sense. Well, if I have no shoes, they say I once met a man with no shoes, and then I met a man with no
No
feet.
feet, yeah.
Right?
You still have an ass. That
Well, I have
happens.
one in the front too. So that's the problem. Thank you for being here. This is fun. I appreciate it.
I have had a blast.
I
Thank
know
you for having
you
me.
seriously are literally leaving here to get on a plane,
I
and the
am.
fact that you would make the time for this
I am
means the
thrilled
world.
and glad that I was able to.
I mean, listen, a cartoon, a tour, and Vegas. I mean, it's like you do everything. What is there anything that people should look out for coming up soon?
I mean, I'm working on other things. Yeah, I'm just working on some other things, and I think the next time I do like a tour, I'm going to be doing like a one-woman cabaret situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to, instead of doing theaters and these other venues, just do it in our safe queer spaces to make sure that we keep our queer spaces
Makes a lot of sense.
intact and supported, especially right now. So rather than trying to sell out this big venue or this, I think we need to like keep it back at home, and I want to put all our money back into the community and let us survive and flourish and all that. So that's what I'm gonna be working on next.
Nice.
Yeah, because it's important. It's important because we're not going nowhere, baby.
Do we have to be gay to go there? Or
No, that's the whole point. It's a safe space.
So
for
I
everyone.
could go there.
You could go there.
I could go there
As
and support
as a
all you
transformer.
as a transformer. As somebody who still listens on a transistor radio.
There's more than meets the eye with you, so.
Thank you, Latrice. Today on Very Delta, we learned that does in fact run downhill, even in the middle of the ocean. We'll see you next week, and until then, keep things very Delta. Very Delta is produced by Moguls of Media, aka Mom. Hosted by Delta Work. Produced and edited by Doug Robertson. Technical direction by Danielle Mitchell. With original theme music by Will Pitts. Media and design support by Stone Cold. And set design by Eris Sevilla. Executive produced by Alaska, Willem, Big Dipper, Camille Stennis, and Joe Cilio. Recorded at Forever Dog Productions.
Do you want to choose a letter opener for her?
Oh.
This is very Doug. They are mine, but
These are all your letter openers?
some of them.
Girl.
The rest are at home.
Mom!
Watch Very Delta uncensored, ad-free, and a day early by subscribing to Mom Plus Gold. Sign up today at mompodcast.plus for premium content, including weekly episodes of More Very Delta.